Hey guys, and welcome to another reaction video. And yeah, today I'm continuing with the totally legit recap series. Because someone asked me to do this a little more often than I did, and I kind of felt like doing it. Today I'm doing 2 episodes. This is episode 3, Gift of the Mod Pie, and episode 4, On Your Marks. So, yeah. Let's get this started, I guess. 3, 2, 1, click.
Alright, so Pinky's like, yo, Rarity, you wanna have an expository conversation? And Rarity's like, dude, what do we gotta say? We're on a train to Manhattan so I can scope out a location for my new boutique. And Pinky's like, yeah, okay, we're definitely gonna do that, but can we also try to get my sister a boyfriend while we're there? And Rarity's like, am I in the opener of a sitcom? So they meet up with Maud, and Rarity's like, yo, darling, what's been up? And Maud's like, Boulder and I have been trying to conceive. And Rarity's like, man, Maud, you're one humorous broad. I mean, how would that even... I put him in my vagina. And Pinky's like, talk about getting your rocks off, right?
Oh god.
Am I right? And so Rarity's like, dude, you were right. Your sister needs the D. And Pinky's like, word, just keep her occupied. I met this guy on Kick who said he'd go out with her, so I just gotta go meet him. It's totally legit. So Rarity decides to keep Maud occupied by asking about her relationship. And she's like, so Maud, how did you and Boulder get involved? And Maud's like, by my mid-20s, I realized that my obsessive personality and bottomless pit of emotional baggage made it unlikely that I'd ever find a suitable partner unless I abandoned the one thing I was passionate about and spent my entire life searching for someone I might never find. I decided to marry myself to my career, and Boulder is a behavioral manifestation of the cognitive dissonance resulting from that choice. And Rarity's like, oh, well, that's neat. And Maud's like, actually, you remind me a lot of myself when I was younger, but with clothes instead of rocks. So how are things going with you? And Rarity's like, oh yeah, things are great. Waiter, I'm gonna need a pitcher of gin over here. And Maud's like, you're not a very good conversationalist. So Pinky meets up with this guy she talked to on MySpace or whatever you kids are using now. But she finds out that the selfies she's been taking with her party cannon all day have become a meme on the pony internet. And he won't let anyone touch his sack unless she forks over the cannon so he can make some videos with it and gaffle some of that sweet, sweet YouTube money. So when Pinky finally gets back, Rarity's like 12 shots deep and on the verge of an existential crisis. And obviously Pinky's hella depressed and she's like, hey guys, I hope you're having a better day than I am. And Rarity's like, oh god, I'm so alone. So Pinky pitches Maud this whole blind date thing, and after privately assuring Boulder that she's just humoring her little sister, Maud agrees to go along with it. Then they actually find the guy and it takes Maud all of like 5 seconds to piece together what happens, and she's just like, that belongs to my sister, give it back. And he's all, oh yeah, what you gonna do about it? And Maud's like, nothing, you're a sleazy street grifter with obvious hormonal deficiencies who cons people out of things that bring them joy amidst this nightmarish imprisonment in flesh we call existence. There's nothing I can do that would make your life worse, you absolute abortion of a person. And he's like, look, just take the fucking cannon back, Jesus Christ. And Maud's like, Pinky, it's really nice that you worry about me like this, but I'm happy with my life the way it is, even if it's a little unusual. Some of us are just okay with being alone forever. Right, Rarity? And Rarity's like, I'm still young. Why are you saying these things to me? Oh yeah, and she finds a location for a new boutique, which she'll be thinking about tonight when she's all by herself. So they all agree it was a fantastic day and decide to make this a yearly thing. The end.
I once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making a million, being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams.
Okay. Let's just go right ahead and watch the second one. 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh boy, here we go again. So, the CMCs are trying to have their first meeting since getting their cutie marks, but they're way too preoccupied with staring at their asses to concentrate. And now they know how we feel. So, Apple Bloom is like, alright guys, let's go get our cutie marks. And Sweetie Belle and Scoots are like, dude. And she's like, oh yeah. And I'm just like, dude, that happens to me a lot, too. Basically, what this all amounts to is that these three are getting older and they're developing different interests. Scootaloo likes being an adrenaline junkie, Sweetie Belle likes finding new and more elaborate ways to be boring, and Apple Bloom likes desperately clinging to a rapidly dissolving child. They try doing some shit together like singing and potion making and volunteer work with the mentally challenged. And finally Scoots is like, dude, why don't we still be best friends but not drag each other into every stupid thing one of us wants to do? And Sweetie Belle is like, wow, that sounds totally reasonable and productive. And Apple Bloom agrees, even though it feels like they've punched a gaping, aching hole in her heart, because she's already learning how to bottle up and stifle her emotions like an adult. Then she sings the most beautiful song I've ever heard in my fucking life. And I don't remember what happens next because I was crying. Anyway, look at Sweetie Belle. Look at that smile and the joy in her eyes. She just made the shittiest scarf in the world and she is fucking stoked about it. And you know she's thinking like, I'm not good at this, but I'm gonna keep trying until I get better. And it's gonna be so much fun. You fucking tiny horses with your relentless positivity and your self-esteem. Just try it once, fail, quit forever, and feel ashamed like a normal person. So Sweetie Bee and Scoots had a great day, and Apple Bloom has sunk into a psychotic depression because she knows that this is how it all starts. Pretty soon they'll all be living in different cities and only see each other at New Year's, and they'll have to be like, hey, what's up? How have you been? Even though none of them actually care because that precious sibling-like relationship they had in their youth is dead, and all that's left is an awkward feeling of obligation. Sure, they'll start talking about things they did back in the day, like, oh hey, remember that time we were happy and life felt like it had meaning? And after a few drinks, it'll almost feel like there's still a connection between them, and they'll share all their online handles and be like, dude, I will totally friend you on MySpace and follow you on Twimbler, and we should get together sometime and eat spaghetti or whatever. Then the next day when they sober up, they'll go right back to never getting around to it and feeling that nagging little guilt and sadness gnawing at the backs of their minds because they know it's never gonna be like it was, so why even try? Or, you know, that's just my take on it. Maybe she's thinking something else. I don't know. And so she's like, why do you guys hate me now? And Scoots is like, dude, we just want to have hobbies. What's the big deal? But I don't like change. Dude, Apple Bloom, life changes all the time and you just have to deal with it, you know? I mean, if you can't cope with change, your life is just going to be a waking nightmare of constant dread as you wonder whether or not today will be the one that shatters your fragile illusion of a status quo. You'll be a reclusive, nervous wreck of a person, and that kind of life's not worth living. Also, having hobbies is neat. Dude, I tried and I'm shit at everything except the stuff I already do. And Sweetie Bee is like, you don't have to be good at something to have fun. And I'm like, no, god damn it, Sweetie Belle, you don't have to be good at something to have fun. You have some weird inherent sense of self-worth and confidence. Normal people don't have that. If I'm not good at something, I fucking hate myself. Anyway, AB finally realizes that the world isn't black and white, and that when someone says, I'm busy, can we hang out later? It doesn't mean that they aren't your friend, it just means they're busy, but they want to hang out later. And that's actually a pretty damn appropriate revelation for someone who's like 12. So she stops being a clingy asshole and everything's fine. The end. Oh, wait, I forgot. So earlier when I was busy sobbing into my TV dinner and chugging box wine, Apple Bloom met this asshole who's really good at dancing but is scared of doing it in front of people. And I'm like, dude, fuck you. If I was good at anything besides jacking off and drinking, I would totally do it in front of people. I mean, I do both those things in front of people constantly, but nobody likes it. Right, so the CMCs do what they do best and help give the dude confidence to follow his passion and blah, blah, blah. He gets his cutie mark and that's that. There's a common thread running throughout MLP that and I'm sure all of you have noticed. Ponies who are good at something but have failed to realize their full potential. This guy just needed some encouragement and voila, he found his destiny. Our good friend Glimmy is another great example. A brilliant sorceress whose emotional baggage led her down a morally ambiguous path. But hey, now that she's realized the error of her ways, she's kicking ass. I mean, she unfucked Trixie. What else needs to be said? That is a public service. Even Diamond fucking Tiara, the most consistent antagonist over the last 5 seasons of this show, wasn't really a villain, just a victim of horrible parenting, and she turned out to be a pretty cool chick when she learned how to use her talents for good. I've thought about this a lot, and it seems like there aren't really any intrinsically bad ponies, just those who've lost their way. Everyone in Equestria has a true place and has the potential for a fulfilling life, and that, more than rainbow magic or talking horses, is what makes it a fantasy world.
Yes.
I need an egg of sticky gooey. And when I get this egg, I'm blowing him with the Louis. Help me out.
what can I say? This is hands down my favorite, well, parody series? What, I mean, what can you even call this? It's my favorite fan work of MLP so far. It's great. It's exactly my kind of humor. I totally love this. It was very nice at the end of On Your Marks to see him get a little more serious. It kind of ended up being a little bit of a joke, or it built up to being more or less a joke. This makes it a fantasy world. Like, no one is evil, no one is inherently evil. They're all just like bad past and something, and that's what makes it a fantasy world. Apparently, there are just inherently evil people in the world. I like that. I like that. Like, going really serious for a while, and everything he said was totally true in that period, and then just kind of ending it up with a joke. I like that. It's great. It's great. But the episodes themselves, I don't know why, but I was a little bit stumped in On Your Marks when he was telling the story of, you know, childhood friends growing apart and never doing anything with each other ever again. That never happened to me. I guess I'm a little bit too young for that. I mean, I have had great friends who I'm not talking to anymore because we just kind of don't talk to each other anymore. But I don't know why, but that really stumped me a little. I know I was smiling the entire time, but I really wasn't feeling like it. Still a great video though. It had some amazing humor. And Gift of the Mod Pie was just totally ridiculous. In a good way. It was so fun. It was so fun to watch. This is great. This is great. I'm definitely gonna keep doing this. This is amazing. This is a really amazing series. I really like it. Yeah. Don't really know what else to say. So yeah, absolutely amazing series, and I think I'm gonna end the video with that. So I hope you guys like this little commentary, and I'll see you next time. Bye.